So welcome everyone to the Aries full moon Lakshmi Puja. This is going to be a little bit more wild than we're used to, but we've got this, right? So here we go. So this one's going to be a little different. I am going to include some of the astrology today because it's necessary. We need it. And then we're going to dive into some celebration for the goddess of abundance. But as we open today, we're going to call in sacred space, just like we always do. We're going to be activating our creation vessels. We always do that anyway, but I like to talk about it, just make sure, especially for those of you that are in financial sovereignty. This is actually the beginning of that class. I just always open it to everyone. So, when we dance, when we call this in, we're activating all of these realms in our bodies. So we're turning it on. We're plugging ourselves down into mama and up into the divine, which is really the divine on both ends. And then we're activating our own personal medicine wheel, for want of a better term, inside of us. So that turns on it amps up. Our creativity is always turned on, but it amps it up a little higher. And we're going to be working in those realms today. I don't want to say deeper than we usually do, but in a different way for sure. And we've got a lot of energy behind us. So I want everyone to be focused, have your journals handy so that you can set intentions and write, because we're going to be busy today. So here we go. All right, let's call in sacred space. So let's take a big deep breath. And as we exhale, we're just going to drop our grounding cords down. We're going to send down our roots, really connect in with mama, and just let her hold us. And then drawing that energy up, inhale, draw her energy up through your body. Send it up and out through the top of the head, connecting with the heart of the divine presence above us. And then inhaling, drawing that cosmic energy down through our bodies, sending it all the way down into the earth, activating that as above, so below flow. And then connecting with that flow, breathing in and breathing out. Activate the as within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give such great thanks to be here in a physical body doing this work right now. Moving to the south, we welcome water. We welcome clear, clean, current emotions. We welcome love. Moving to the west, we welcome air and mind. We welcome focus and all of our unseen help, our guides, angels, allies, and helpers. And moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement and passion, divine right action. Moving to the center, we welcome our divine feminine and our divine masculine in sacred right relationship. We call that beautiful energy down through our bodies. We call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into the circle. We ask that all of these energies be with us, pray with us, and dance with us for our mutual benefit. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, we are gonna dance first, then we'll look at that. Here we go. Play. Leslie, you're asking for the music. It is, I have it on iTunes, but hang on. I don't know that I can post it. It's royalty-free music and it's by Chan Redfield, Chanred. That one is called This Is It. I have 3 of these, Good Things to Come and Success. But if you look up Chan Redfield, I think you'll find what you're looking for. I don't think I can, honey. I can, hang on.
No worries, I can look it up with what you gave me. That's fine.
Okay, that's good. It's like I'm in iTunes and I don't know how to do that without, especially in the middle of a recording when I could just
so sorry. Yes, Chan Redfield, and the name of the song again was
this is, hang on just a minute, I'll remember, because these are the only 3 I play during these because I need to post them. And if you post anything that you don't own on YouTube, they'll kick you out. This is it, Good Things to Come and Success. Those are the 3 songs that I play over and over.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's get out of there. And welcome everyone. See, more people have popped in. So this is, we're going to work today. I'm going to show you why I'm here, and hopefully you're here for the same reasons. Today is the celebration day of Lakshmi, the principle of abundance, and traditional. This is when we celebrate that kind of energy. This is also, I call this the superest full moon of the season. It's the biggest. It's also an Aries full moon. And there is a lineup that, even though I've written it real nice in the thing that I'm going to share with you, I'm also going to share the intensity of it. It's huge. So in the midst of all of this, I want us all to offer prayers and support for everyone that's suffering right now. Because yeah, there's stuff, lots of stuff going on, some in the news that we know about, some that we don't. And this is a big wake up time. And so it's time for us to do what we came here to do, and this is a way we can do that. And then this is a big release for 2024, preparing us for 2025. We're already moving into that energy. And this is the beginning of my new session of financial sovereignty, which is all new, called Money and Soul. Yes, there will be a recording that I will send out in the big list, and I'll also send it out for the financial sovereignty class, and it'll also be on YouTube. So you all will be able to find this one. The rest of the class you have to join, but this one you can find. Okay, so first thing, I have some music I'm going to play in the background. And obviously, I saw a meme the other day where someone said, okay, it's been 2 weeks. You all right now? Things are never going to be all right again, like we knew them before in North Carolina, in Tennessee, in Wyoming, where there's forests burning, all over the planet. Things are erupting because we are in a time of change. So as we go into this, those of us, and not that I'm biased or anything like that, but what I know physiologically is that those of us in female bodies have the capability to turn this around. Our bodies are built for this. So at the very least, we want to take a moment of silence and just pray for the people that are hurting right now, and pray for the future of our planet. Right, this is true, Alia. Things weren't right before. for plants and animals and the earth. And that is still true. And so we need to be more, I think personally, more vigilant on this front. And this is one way we can do that. So let's all just take a few moments and everybody just close your eyes. And I invite you to drop down into your heart, down into that eternal space, that light that all of us brought with us. And for just a few moments, we want to hold space for the planet, for all sentient beings upon it, and for those that are in extreme pain and suffering right now. Place all of them in that light in your heart and hold them. All of the workers, all of the survivors, all of those that didn't survive. And their families. Not just in the eastern coast of the United States, but all over the planet. Oh, and so it is. That's because there wasn't any sound. I think I said I was going to play music. I didn't play any. So if you didn't hear any sound, that was because there wasn't any. I just started praying. So I apologize for that. All right, we're going to move into the next phase, which is what's going on out there. Yeah, it felt good to me too. The silence did. So as of today, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus, and Jupiter are all retrograde. So they're hanging back. And we have this big super full moon. Tina, don't give up. We're not here to do that. We're not here to have had it as a species. I've had it with the species, but we can't allow ourselves to go there. We're in the thick of it, and I know it feels intense. Tomorrow night, a super full moon is going to happen. And the luminaries, which means the sun and moon, are in an intense grand cross. So we're talking, when we say grand cross, that means it's a perfect cross. But this one is with all the cardinal points. So, up at the top, Capricorn, down in the south, Cancer, Aries, and Libra. So And there's a lot of planets that are involved in, they're typically relationship planets. But coming on the horizon, Pluto and Mars are going to square up right about election day. And they are opposing energies, but they're all about setting things right. But because of all this relationship stuff, and because most of the people out there haven't done the work that we've done, inner work, they think that their whole existence is about this physical realm and what we see in front of us, and they don't realize that they're literally creating what is out picturing by what they're choosing to see, how they're choosing to experience it. So with that going on, those of us that know have to hold space for those that don't. And since we know this, we can use this time, both for ourselves personally and for others, to hold peace, to pray for peace inside of us, inside of everyone else out there. Somebody said we enjoyed the silence. It's like taking that kind of time and just being quiet, going out and sitting on the earth and going within and holding space. Because here's what's coming up. Old trauma, both individually and collectively. All of these planets are lining up to help us work on that. But folks really aren't gonna, their mindset for the most part isn't, I need to work on my trauma, right? It's, I need to pay my bills. This seems unfair. This is an injustice. Those are the kinds of themes that are going to come up for most people. So, and we're going to have this Aries energy, which is, let's do it. Let's go for it. Like the Nike commercial, just do it, get things done. And sometimes without thinking. So the grand cross that's happening is the sun and moon, of course, Mars, Juno, Chiron, and Pluto. So they're all hanging out together. And there's a tight opposition to Juno in Libra, which is all about relationships. She's the goddess of committed partnerships. So truly doing your own shadow work, your own trauma work, doing it on behalf of the planet, on behalf of our ancestors, all of that kind of work is going to go a long way to support gentle and easy change and transition, which we should all be praying for right now, because change and transition is here. It's happening. But how it happens is up to us. So all of this is going to be kind of a roller coaster unless, if we're aware and we know what it is going into it, we can do our work now on the backside and we can release things that are inappropriate so that we can come into full bloom on the other side. And that's what we want to do, because what this is giving us, this is an opportunity disguised as difficulty, right? It's giving us this opportunity to go as deep as we can to get to the root cause of things and yank it out. And then euphoria happens. So we just have to know how to use the energy to our best advantage and not let it blow out of control. And in the interim, things might get a little scratchy. So just be aware of that and just go, oh yeah, Kath said this was going to happen. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to go within, what is this mirroring back to me? I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Angel, she's like, you're describing my last, yeah, for a lot of us, it's kind of been here. It's not going away soon, but it will. And as we navigate it, if we navigate well, we can get us and anyone that wants to come with us to the other side of this kind of unscathed. That's all I can promise. So enter the goddess of abundance. I have come to think of her as the principal. You know, she's so much bigger. I mean, we always think about these energies as people, we personify them, but she's a frequency. She's a principle. And she's a principle that a lot of times, you know, to me, it's almost any more demeaning to think of her as, you know, the place where we go when we need money. Because that's really truly not her vibe. I mean, that happens when we go here, but it happens for a fundamental reason. I love this. It says traditionally Lakshmi personifies the blessings that arrive. So she personifies them. She is them. She holds the frequency of them. When we align our every action with what the soul desires most for us, not what our ego desires, not what we've been programmed to think we need or want. So if there's anything amiss in our world, not just our little world, but our big world, could it be that we aren't truly in alignment with our soul or with the soul of the world? Sophia. So Lakshmi is known as the goddess of wealth, fortune, and prosperity. And this is the time typically that we connect with her because we're thinking about, you know, we're harvesting, we're bringing in everything from the gardens. We're putting our gardens to sleep. We're giving thanks for what is there. And if you're a typical farmer, you're thinking about the future. You're seeding for your planning for next year already, which we all should be doing. So what we're going to do right now, I told you to have your little journals ready, is take a minute and set an intention for this ceremony. And, you know, this can also, you can just start now because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this. Then I'm going to go out and build my full moon fire. And it's like, this is going to continue even into tomorrow. Over in India, this celebration goes on for days. So you can start now. Write an intention for our ceremony, write an intention for this full moon. And then we're going to dive in and we're going to do a little ritual that will support all of that. Good for you, Sheila. Mm-hmm. Remember, this is a full moon. So think about releases. Think about what you want to release so you can plant new seeds in 2 weeks. What do you need to clear out? All right. And you can add to that as I go along. I wrote mine down. And so now I'm going to move forward so I don't keep you here all day. So what we're doing when we set that intention is we're getting our consciousness and our energy congruent. So you really want to think about this and not make it just like a Christmas list. This is, how am I going to align my behavior so that it matches my vision? So just let that sink in. Especially if you're going to continue in the financial sovereignty class, that's where we're going. Aligning, I'm writing this down, aligning our behavior with our vision. That's that's her magic. And so we set up the field for our success when we do that. So the question that I want us to keep asking ourselves as we go through here and we learn about the attributes of this frequency, are we in alignment personally and globally with these principles, with this frequency? And how can we move into alignment with it? So traditionally, she's known as the Hindu goddess of wealth, fortune, well-being, abundance, and prosperity, both material and spiritual. Her name is derived from Sanskrit as Laksa, meaning to know, to understand, or to have a goal. So just let those things sink in a little bit. She is the embodiment, in their tradition, she's the ultimate. She is Sophia. She is the embodiment of holy wisdom, of abundance in every single form, beauty in every single form, the exquisiteness of nature, all of it, not just opulence and wealth, all of the intricate beauty of this world is her frequency. Goddess Lakshmi translates to the physical or material world and has come to symbolize good luck in the Hindu tradition. But that good luck happens for a fundamental reason, which is what, yes, she is like Venus. It is what I'm going to hammer a lot today. Just giving you a warning. So, according to one legend, she emerges during the creation of the universe, floating over the water on the expanded petals of a lotus flower. She's the divine feminine counterpart of the Hindu god Vishnu, known as the lover of the devotees. And she symbolizes purity and beauty. Now, let this one land, regardless of the good or bad circumstances in which it grows. So I always know whenever a big catastrophe happens like this anywhere on the planet, that it's because we need to stimulate that beautiful factor of humanity that is a wild card always, but that when somebody is in need, our hearts open and turn on and we get busy and we do something about it. And that we have seen that in North Carolina. We see it every time there is a big, horrible event. Humanity steps up and makes a concerted effort to make it right. And we've seen that kind of love flow. So I hate just as much as the next person that that's what it takes for us in order to stimulate that kind of energy on the planet. But apparently, Mom thought it was necessary. So as we translate that into our own personal lives, this is a call for us not to go to victimhood and not to, no matter what our circumstances are, financial or otherwise, to get out of the mindset of this sucks, because that's where a lot of us are right now, and move ourselves into, what is this trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? What do I really want to see here? And how can I move to manifest it, no matter what the circumstance is around it? We're going to the other names very soon. They're coming. So you could say that she ultimately represents supreme divine feminine consciousness. And from that standpoint, you could understand her by many names, not just the Hindu tradition. She has several names. And, you know, there's a lovely little book by Thomas Ashley Ferrand called Shakti Mantras. And in there, it has the full medicine story of many of the goddesses in the Hindu tradition, but Lakshmi especially. And there are pages of chants to her for different kinds of things. And he goes over a lot of the different names and what they mean. And we're going to go over some today. There's, I believe, 8 major ones, but there's many more than what I'm going to describe today. In the Hindu tradition, she's become known as the goddess of fortune, but in my world, she is so much more. So her essence is about understanding the goal in life. And, you know, this is what I think is such a travesty, because in the West, for sure, we have come to make the material world our goal in life. And it is so much bigger than that. It is to realize the abundance of the soul, of what is in our soul, and to develop a richer connection to that. Thomas Ashley Ferrand, Heather. It's hyphenated, Ashley Ferrand. So when we find that space inside of us, I tell everyone we brought heaven with us. When we find that and we begin to make our decisions from there, those of you that are in Source Light School know exactly what I'm talking about. Things change. Abundance happens. Greater flows of abundance within and without. And we begin to receive those opulent blessings. But the reason is because we get ourselves back in alignment. And then we can begin to circulate. So it's not just so that we can get, pay the rent this month. It's so that we can begin, that opulence flows through us. There's no obstruction to the flow of divine abundance through our physical bodies, through our hands. So when we receive, we can give, we can share. And that sharing comes not just in physical, not just money, all the ways, every way you can imagine, just like her. Says Lakshmi is the auspiciousness that begins to bloom in our life when we align our every action with the work our soul has come here to do. We all timed this perfect. I know y'all are thinking, what was I thinking? But we got a front row seat to the best show in town. If we're here alive on this planet right now, we planned it. We determined, we stood in line for eons to get these tickets. I think she has even more hands, but there is a lot of symbolism behind the hands. I couldn't tell you what the hands are, but maybe they'll tell us in here. I don't know. I can't remember. I know that there's symbology behind it. Like if you look at these hands, she's actually showering pieces of gold and money down to people. The hands up here holding the lotus flowers represent spirituality and open seventh chakras. So, but it's like the connection between both. I guess, yes, you could say that Lakshmi is within us. She absolutely is. That free, and we just have to tap that frequency. It's way inside of us. It's divine abundance. So she reminds us our ultimate goal is not just outward wealth, but being able to know our true bliss. When you follow your bliss, everything else follows. So what makes us feel lit up inside, like a glow stick when we're doing it? What, hang on here, mute you, Donna. What work doesn't feel like work when we do it? This doesn't feel like work to me. I've found my bliss. Have you found yours? She's the link to finding that bliss so that what is within us is poured out to the world. Okay, that's her goal always. We're the hands and feet. We're the hands and feet of the divine. I like to think of Lakshmi as the ultimate energy of the divine feminine. She's the consummate mother. She wants all of us to live our life to the fullest, just like we want for our children. She wants that fullness and goodness to overflow to others around us so that we're all swimming in the blessings. And that is the way things work in the physical. the reason we look around and we don't see what we want to see right now is my spirit guide said this to me years and years and years ago, and I thought it was brilliant, and I've shared it ever since. The fundamental rule of living in the physical on this planet, everything you plant here grows. Everything. Every thought, every pain, every heartache, everything. It grows. So we have to focus on planting good seeds. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So she represents the gold that we can hold in our hands and the gold that we can become by doing the work that feeds our soul. She teaches us to count our inner and outer blessings. And if you're a chanter and you want to chant with Lakshmi, this is her chant in Hindu. Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Swaha. I'll give you a minute to write that down. So it looks like you have your hand up, sweetie. What do you want to say something? Do you have a question? Oops, hand went down. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do now, and we're going to do this together. I'm not done speaking. I'm going to show you the names. But before we go into that, get a separate sheet of paper, one that you can throw away. You can take a picture of this before you throw it away if you're one of those people that needs to know. Write down anything you want to release that's standing in your way of abundance. And then you can go back and make any adjustments to your intentions that you wrote in your journal. Because as soon as we get finished doing all the names, then we're going to do a dance and we're going to release everything. And then you're going to go out and get rid of that paper. You're going to burn it or something, tear it up, throw it away. I would refer you to the book. Yes, there are tons of other Lakshmi chants. And I can think of a few off the top of my head, but the one for truth, Om Satye Namaha. The chant to the celestial healer. These are all Lakshmi chants. Om Shrim Danvantre Namaha. There's several more. I mean, there's actually tons more. I know of 6 or 7, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But the name of the book is okay. Yes, I will. We'll move this back up while everybody's writing. Hang on here. Here it is. Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Swaha. So I'm going to just, as I'm writing my own, I'm just going to share something that might be a good suggestion for all of us. Right now, there may be personal people that you have things with. And the idea with all of this energy, a lot of times, is to divide us. Linda, 108, get a mala. She wanted to know how many times to repeat it. 108 times. So if you have a rosary, just do 2 rosaries. But if you have a mala, just the whole mala. And, and that's just one round. in places where they do this as a spiritual practice, I know some places that require 16 rounds a day. Because what you're doing is changing your frequency with sound vibration. So the more you, and that's why, music is a good vehicle. You can play Lakshmi chants in the background and just let it just shift your frequency. I don't have a link, Hunter. I'm going to say it one more time, and you can go back and listen to this, or I'll send it to you privately. Shakti Mantras is the name of the book. Type that in anywhere, everything else will come up. But the name of the author is Thomas Ashley Farrand, Farrand. Ashley, just like the girl's name. Okay, so hopefully you've got some things to release. I want to suggest that maybe all of us do this. Release our collective anger and frustration with humanity and the bad choices that people continue to make, with the government, wherever you live, whether you're in the States or not. Because I feel like there's a lot of that, and we just get mad and frustrated, or we're holding aside, or, I've seen this divide families, and it is time to just let that go. We're going to see more and more truths that we don't want to see. And we're just going to have to let ourselves let it go and see through the eyes of love. That's it. I love the way you're all helping each other. Okay, so let's jump in here. The first form of wealth that Lakshmi brings, Veera Lakshmi, or valor. She bestows the strength and courage we need to face our difficulties and overcome them. Notice she doesn't take them away. She just gives us strength and courage to deal. The word Veera is closely related to virility, which means vigorous strength, and virtue, which means being strong enough to choose what's right over what's easy. And this can be part of our frustration. Maybe we need to release choosing what's easy. Because part of quite frankly, I'm just a human from the West, just, like a lot of people. All of us, in some part of our bodies, wish that we could go back to sleep. Wish that things would just go back to what we thought was normal. That's not going to happen. So changing our mindset may be important, or we're going to be very frustrated. Second form, Lakshmi wealth. Gaja, I think that's Gaja Lakshmi, elephant Lakshmi. So what this means is she bestows power and authority. For example, getting a promotion at work or being elected to office. So she is the one that brings people in and gives them, she's the one that decides, not us. Third form, Santana Lakshmi, eternal Lakshmi. If you've ever heard of someone who prayed for abundance and later found out they were pregnant, this is this form of Lakshmi. She bestows the wealth of children and family. Nowadays, we think of children as a burden, but there was a time when we thought they were a blessing and an asset and a building on the future. And that's indeed what they are. Vijaya Lakshmi. So I don't know if you've ever been around Hindu people, but they'll say Jai, Jai Radha. Jai, that is the short version of victory. Okay, so this is Vijaya Lakshmi, the goddess of victory, and it is invoked to help us conquer hurdles, overcome obstacles in our lives. Jaya is the kind of victory with winners and losers. Vijaya is the victory of inner growth in which we win without making others lose. So let that one drop in a little bit. The fifth form, Dhanya Lakshmi, grain Lakshmi. She gives agricultural wealth, for example, growing a garden, building a pantry. She's closely related to Annapurna, the goddess of food. The sixth form of wealth, primal Lakshmi or Adhi Lakshmi. We don't usually think of spiritual contentment as a form of wealth, but it is. And if you've ever met someone who was impoverished by the world standard, and yet they were just glowing and happy all the time, and people always wanted to be around them, those are the folks that get it. They've been blessed with Adhi Lakshmi, which is that inner spiritual contentment, that bliss that really is what all of us are seeking. And then seventh, so notice it isn't the first one, it's the seventh one, Dhana Lakshmi, money. This is the form of Lakshmi most people think of, with her hand raised as a gesture of blessing, and then gold coins pouring out from it. She's probably the most frequently invoked, especially in emergency prayers to help devotees get through the month without repossessions or evictions. So, like I said, in our physicalness, we have kind of just dropped into the only time we ever reach out to her is when we need something. And that will work for a minute. But eventually, if you, and that's what we're going to work on in financial sovereignty this time. Many of us have impoverished ourselves, you know, from that principle, everything you plant here grows, with worry and panic, and always having a sense of panic around money. And much of that is because we haven't really found our source inside of us yet. When we do that, then everything can flow from that and we can relax. And so a lot of what we need to be doing, where we need to go, is relaxing and allowing Lakshmi to care for us, rather than creating situations where we're always in a state of panic. The eighth form of Lakshmi is Aishwarya Lakshmi, riches. This is the eighth form of Lakshmi and goes a step beyond asking for money to pay the bills. Aishwarya Lakshmi bestows the kind of wealth that gives us pleasures like jewelry, vacations, and opulence. And it also gives us the kind of blessings so that we can bless others, so that we're free, we can feel empowered and free to bless others with abundance. So there you have it, folks. Look over the things you want to release, because we're going to dance to release them. And then we're going to activate all of those intentions that you set. So you want to release things out of your life that are in the way of where you want to go and the abundance that you want to grow here on the planet. So here we go. I'm going to play some more music by Chan Redfield because it's all I can play. Good things to come. That's a good one. Everybody get up. All right. So now, after we close, if, like I said, if you're one of those that needs to remember what you released, you can take a picture with your phone, but I want you to go burn that piece of paper. That's going to work on your subconscious mind. It's the action. You take action to get it out of your system. So burn it, bury it, drown it, whatever, tear it up, pour water over it, whatever you need to do. Then focus on the blessings. Focus on how you can connect deeper with your soul and pour those blessings out to the world. Keep noticing what wants to move, stay in gratitude, stay in love. See through the eyes of love, no matter what is showing up. And then, if you want to keep going, because we're going to keep going for, I believe, 7 more weeks. If you want to continue and dive deeper, we're going to do this at the same time on Tuesdays. You can sign up here, or you can watch your inbox, because there's been an email every day, just about. It's still in there, and I'll send it out when I send out the recording. I'll send it out again. So if you want to join us, you can jump in all this week. Then we close the door. All right. Yeah, I knew there was one more. I give thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us. I give thanks for all of these beautiful souls that are doing their work. And I close this circle in the light. All right, lovelies. I will see you soon. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, Sheila. You all are welcome. And today I might get out of here. Maybe.